trying DXM at McDonald's. Yo, what's going on? It's Someone That's Someone, and welcome back to today's report. Today's report was sent in by Marc. When this happened, January 1st, 2020, the drug used, Dextromethorphan, Polistirex. For the dose, he notes, unknown, didn't keep track, the route administration, orally, gender, male, age, 16. For his prior experience, he notes he's a new user and hasn't tried anything else, and the setting at McDonald's. Okay, so we have another first-time DXM experience to share, though this stands out because it mainly takes place at a McDonald's. Marc is convinced by his coworker to try tripping on it, and spontaneously, they steal some from a Walgreens, then decide to dose at McDonald's of all places. They order dinner, but instead of food, they're mainly downing DXM. And they do delsym, which if you don't know, contains the Polistirex version of DXM. Most DXM containing products include the hydrobromide version, which is commonly the trip you hear most of. Polistirex can be described as an extended release version, which results the effects to be spread out 4 to 6 hours longer. And because of this, the effects themselves may not hit as strongly. But given that this was Marc's first time, and that he compulsively took a large dose, this experience was far from lacking for him. I also do want to know that with the extended release version, the effects take longer to set in, at least a couple hours for most people. But Marc reports feeling something in less than an hour. So it could be there is some placebo experience within this, but we also have to consider the possibility of Marc having high susceptibility to experiencing a substance, since he has noted he has no prior use with them. Either way, this is a pretty interesting trip, humorous at points, but they are lucky their behavior didn't lead to the cops being called. I'm sure you'll enjoy this, so without further ado, let's dive right into it. Hi, I wanted to tell you my story about my first DXM trip. The date was January 1st, 2020. I had just gotten out of work when a coworker asked me if I wanted to meet him at McDonald's. I told him sure, that would be fun. We met up at McDonald's at about 5:35 p.m. My coworker said he had been experimenting with DXM and asked me if I wanted to try it. I agreed to try it, so we got into my car and drove to the nearest Walgreens. When we got there, we snagged 4 bottles of delsym by putting them in our pockets and walking out of the store. We get back to McDonald's and order some dinner. By now, it's 6:03 p.m. We got our food and found a table. We pulled the stolen medicine out of our pockets and drank a bottle each. We have our food, but we don't eat much of it. By about 6:45, I started feeling the DXM hit me. This is where things got a little crazy. I wanted to drink a little more delsym because I thought it would make my trip more intense. I asked my coworker if he wanted any more of the delsym. He told me he had enough and I could drink the rest, which was 2 bottles. I opened one of the 2 bottles and started drinking it. I was about a quarter of the way done with the first bottle when a family of 5 walks into the restaurant. I sat and watched them for a few minutes until they sat at the table right behind ours. I picked up the delsym bottle, looked at it, and told my coworker, I can't finish it. He looked at me in the eyes and said, don't quit, you can do it. After that, he started this chant, chug that delsym. He chanted that a few times, which encouraged me to drink the bottle down. After the bottle was gone, he stopped the chant and picked up the other bottle of delsym. By now, we were both tripping. My coworker started the chant again and told me to drink the other bottle of delsym. I picked up the bottle, my hand shaking, and started to drink it. About halfway through, the dad from the family that was sitting behind us walked over and said, you gentlemen are being very disruptive. Can you please keep the noise down? I answered, hey dude, please show some respect. We are trying to enjoy our DXM. After that went down, I tried to stand, but my legs felt dumb. My coworker, who could walk somewhat, helped me get over to the trash can so I could throw the rest of the delsym away. We were both literally walking like robots. Oh darn, I said, I still have to drive home. My coworker advised me to sleep in the restaurant instead of driving home. He and I spent the night at McDonald's tripping on DXM. It was a very interesting experience. The next day, I was feeling well enough to drive, but I still felt messed up from the previous night, so I drove home and called in sick to work. I spent the rest of that day playing video games. It was an intense experience, especially for a first timer. I don't know if I'd repeat this again. Thanks for listening.